Okay, so let's tackle one of life's absolute biggest questions. Can you actually be happy all the time? I mean, it's a goal so many of us are chasing, but is it even possible? Or is it even something we should want? Let's dive in.
You see it everywhere, right? This idea that the ultimate prize, the finish line in life, is just this constant state of bliss. It's the happily ever after we're all told we should be working towards. But what if that entire idea is just wrong? What if this relentless pursuit of nonstop happiness is the very thing making us miserable? In this explainer, we're going to break down the science that shows why searching for constant joy might actually be a trap, and what a more realistic and, frankly, more fulfilling goal could look like. So, first things first, we need to understand a really powerful psychological barrier. Psychologists call it the happiness trap. And it's built around a concept that's pretty much running in the background of all our lives, whether we realize it or not. And here it is. Meet the hedonic treadmill. The idea here is that all of us kind of have a happiness set point. No matter what happens, something amazing or something terrible, we tend to drift back to our personal baseline. It's exactly why the thrill of a new phone or a big promotion fades way faster than we expect it to. And this is the perfect kind of mind-blowing illustration. You'd think winning the lottery would be a one-way ticket to permanent bliss, right? Wrong. The research shows that after about a year and a half, most lottery winners are right back where they started, emotionally speaking. Their baseline just recalibrated to a new, more expensive normal. So it all boils down to this really simple and kind of frustrating loop. Something great happens. We get that amazing spike of joy. But then, inevitably, our brains adapt. The novelty wears off, our expectations rise, and boom, we're right back on the treadmill, already looking for that next hit of happiness. Now, this treadmill isn't just some psychological quirk. Oh no, it is rooted deep, deep in our biology. You could say our brains have a built-in happy thermostat that's actively working against the very idea of constant euphoria. The fancy scientific name for this is affective homeostasis. Your brain is absolutely hardwired to seek balance. It's always working to pull you out of extreme emotional states, and that includes extreme happiness, all to keep you stable and functioning in the world. And there's a really good evolutionary reason for this. Think about it. If you were in a state of constant bliss, you'd be a terrible survivor. You wouldn't notice danger, you wouldn't be motivated to find food or chase better opportunities. Your brain doesn't prioritize bliss, it prioritizes survival. I mean, a perfect real-world example is passionate love. You know, that head over heels, can't eat, can't sleep feeling. It's an amazing high, but it's physiologically unsustainable. So the brain dials it down after a year or two, and it shifts into a more stable, long-term bond. That's effective homeostasis in action. Okay, so this brings us to another key idea, and it's a bit counterintuitive. The actual value of our so-called negative emotions. A life without any sadness or anxiety or discontent, it wouldn't be a paradise. Honestly, it would be completely dysfunctional. The best way to think about negative emotions is like a toolkit for life. Sadness, it makes us stop and reflect. Distress, it signals to other people that we need help. Discontent, well, that's what pushes us to improve our lives. And fear keeps us alive. These are not bugs in our system, they are critical features. And what happens when we try to suppress them? Just push them down and pretend they're not there? It's a recipe for disaster. Research is crystal clear on this. Bottling up these feelings just makes things worse. It leads to more anxiety, more depression, and it can even physically weaken your immune system. Okay, so if constant happiness is basically an impossible and even an undesirable goal, what are we supposed to aim for instead? Well, the science points to a much richer, much deeper concept: flourishing. So this lays out a really critical difference. On one hand, you have hedonic happiness. That's the fleeting pleasure from a great meal or a funny movie. It's awesome, but it's temporary. Then you have eudaimonic well-being, which is so much deeper. It's about meaning, it's about growth, it's about purpose. And unlike pleasure, this kind of fulfillment is actually sustainable. And when you see it laid out like this, the trade-offs are so clear. The hedonic path is all about instant gratification, but it's always a short-term fix. The eudaimonic path, yeah, it requires real effort and engagement, but the payoff, that feeling of flourishing, it actually grows and deepens over time. It's about choosing to invest in what actually lasts. So how do we actually build this eudaimonic well-being? I mean, how do we do it? Thankfully, positive psychology gives us this fantastic science-backed blueprint. It's called the PERMA model.
All right, let's break it down. First up, the P stands for positive emotion. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring the negative stuff. It just means actively making space in your life for joy, for gratitude, and for hope. It's a vital piece of the puzzle, just not the whole puzzle. Next, E is for engagement. This is all about finding that magical state of flow, where you're so completely absorbed in a challenging activity that you just lose all track of time. It's that sweet spot where your skill meets a challenge. Then R is for relationships. And let me tell you, this one is huge. I mean, study after study after study shows that having strong, positive social connections is one of the most reliable predictors of a good life. We are just fundamentally wired for connection. M stands for meaning. This is about belonging to and serving something that you believe is bigger than just yourself. It could be your family, your community, a cause you really care about, anything that gives you a sense of purpose. And finally, A is for accomplishment. This isn't about chasing trophies or money. This is about the pursuit of success and mastery for its own sake, that deep satisfaction you get from getting better at something that truly matters to you. So here it is, all together. PERMA is not a checklist for being happy. Think of it as a framework for building a life of genuine flourishing, a life where happiness is a frequent and very welcome visitor, but not the single obsessive focus of the whole journey. So what does this all look like in practice, like starting today? Well, you can focus more on experiences over possessions, since they're way less prone to that hedonic treadmill. You can actively practice gratitude. You can invest real time and energy into your relationships. And you can choose goals that actually help you grow as a person. Ultimately, this is the core message right here. The real goal isn't some flat line of perfect bliss. The optimal state is a dynamic equilibrium, having the strength and the flexibility to navigate all of life's ups and downs while you build something truly meaningful. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. What might change for you, really, if you stopped asking, how can I be happy all the time? And you started asking, how can I build a meaningful life?